Let's see if we go live here. Just like, hey, there we are. Don't you hate the internet? I think it's telling that this video today was entitled "Christmas Light Fails," and we had an internet failure. We got a storm coming in, and I don't know, something got screwy, something got knocked out right quick. So, yeah, we're gonna do an episode today entitled "Christmas Light Fails." Going to do some time with you today. There are many different ways. Also, this is a new setup. So as you come into the chat, if you see something wrong, if you hear something wrong, let me know. Or if you're watching this later, just type down a comment below. And as this morphs, this is set morphs and changes, man, we're gonna have some neat stuff in store. But today is all about Christmas lights. Now I put out a video this morning because we have a storm coming in. So this morning I'm out there bright and early, and I'm trying to get branches, trying to save branches because I have so many lights in my maple that the limbs, which are supposed to be above my head, now I can step over as I walk past them. I'm like, if we get any ice, if we get any precipitation at all, it's going to break. I'm going to lose these limbs. And on the way my maple is set up, I don't have a lot of limbs. So for whatever reason, so I got to save them. So I went up in the tree and I did some things to save the limbs. It's a real short, I think it's 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes video I put out this morning on how I did that. Carl from Kiwi Christmas. We chat on Discord all the time. Well, I haven't seen Carl in there in Discord in a while, actually, but I digress. Carl commented on the video and said, hey, I use fishing line to fix the limbs, to save the limbs. So I use something different. You can watch that to find out exactly what I watched. Let's see who's coming in. CPL, crazy poppy lady, Angela. And then Alan's here. Hey guys. So Angela, I'm glad you're here. We need to talk. We need to talk to you and me. So I did a live with Roaming with Rover last week, and we're talking about yarn tubers. I say, hey, I got probably two people I would consider friends in the yarn tubing community. I said, Angela from Crazy Poppy Lady, and she stopped me. She goes, you need to talk to her because I keep inviting her on my lives and she won't accept. She says she's scared. What are you scared of? You can create thousands of poppies for the Christmas season, but you can't do a live with Roaming with Rover. Angela and I like to tease one another. Angela and I like to tease one another. So good to see folks. Oh, Steve's here. Hey, Steve. Yes, she's in trouble. Yes, she's in trouble. Hey, Steve, good to see you. How far along are you on your Christmas show? So I put out the video today of the trick I did to save some limbs of my tree from the ice storm that's actually supposed to be here at noon. It's 2:00 here now. It's running a little bit late. That's okay because I still have to go get kids from school, so that's all right. And I thought, you know what? I have some videos that what's this time of the year, right? It's a Christmas show, so people are just now starting to search for Christmas shows. So I'm starting to take off. Just past 5,000 subscribers. Wait, what? Oh, what's that? What's that? Just past 5,000 subscribers, which is a huge deal, huge thing. I remember when I got in. If you are a longtime fan of the show, you know I'm good friends with Bart and Scott from the Scotch Test Dummies. And Bart's the one that talked me into doing a YouTube show because he has a couple of different shows and he talked me into doing it. And I thought, man, if I ever get to 5,000 subscribers, man, I'm legit at that point. And very cool. We just passed 800,000 views. We are set to pass 1 million views. I'm guessing around December 15th. We'll see how that goes. So very excited about that. The channel is growing. We just opened up channel membership. Just opened that up. What day was that? Saturday. So 3 days ago, 2 days ago. I don't know. Today's Monday. So 2 days ago, just opened that up with our 5,000 subscriber. I've been asked for years to open up membership. It's completely separate than Patreon. I've had Giatano Amato, who's our last year's Fan Appreciation Award winner, or this year because we give it out in January. Said, hey, do we need to switch over here from Patreon? Nope, it's completely separate. If you're a member, like when we're doing lives right now, you get your own emojis and you get your custom icons and things like that. So just open that up. So very excited about that. Let's see here. Timing is an issue with Roaming with Rover. I get that. I get that. Have you seen LED blinker bulbs? Yeah, they're everywhere. I have this. If you're talking about the white bulb with the red tip that you can put into incandescent lights, I don't go to Walmart hardly ever, with the exception of Christmas time. And I went there yesterday, and they had a 4-pack, and I was actually thinking, well done, you Walmart, for actually still selling these. And next to those were the pack of 4 replacement bulbs, which were last year were $4 a pack. This year are down to $2. So that's the one thing I've seen that doesn't go up. It's a scam. Don't ever buy replacement bulbs. Your string of Christmas lights that don't work, those are replacement bulbs. Just save those to repair the next light. So yeah, 70%. Lots more late nights. Yes, lots more late nights. Done by the 20th. Wow, that is that's a lofty goal. Good for you there. Way to go on the 5,000. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Kind of got off track there. Started talking about the show rather than the purpose of today's video. So the purpose of today's video is to talk about Christmas light fails. I have a how to fix incandescent net lighting video that I just put out, and I'm already getting, hey, I need LED net lights. How do you fix LED net lights? So I started shooting a video on how to fix LED net lights, and I only own commercial net lights, which is that's why I started talking about Walmart. I only own commercial net lights, and their power structure is completely different than retail grade LED lights. I'm like, this is a completely separate video, so I needed to stop that because not too many people actually have commercial grade Christmas lights, so I don't think the need to fix them to spend the time. It takes about 10 hours to make a video. Yeah, too much, I know. So I stopped that and I pivoted over to retail grade, and I realized, oh yeah, I don't own any. So that's why I was at Walmart. I had to go and buy a set of Christmas light LED net lights. And my lovely assistant, Jean, my wife, I'll send her in the room probably tonight. I'm like, hey, just take a random bulb, rip the copper out of it, put it back in the set, and so I can find it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about for that, see if I was smart enough to load up a picture. I think it was. So, that's too tiny. Well, I guess you can kind of see it. So on this shot here of this Christmas light bulb, that is a bulb I simply took out of the socket on the left-hand side, and the right-hand side, it's that pretty much that same bulb in the socket. And the little filaments, the wire ends on the bottom, that's what curls around and sets itself outside of the socket. And that is what usually will break off. Some folks have copper, some have steel. I've recently heard, I thought they were all copper. I've not seen steel anywhere, but they swear up and down they have steel. I'm like, okay, cool. That will still break off, which is probably the number one complaint that I have of how lights break on me. Everybody's a little bit different. I just did a video on that, didn't I? I did a top 5 ways Christmas lights fail on you. And all 5 I have every year. I just do, with the exception that Carl from Kiwi Christmas, if you haven't checked out Kiwi Christmas, please do so on YouTube. He does really cool props that I don't have the ability to make. So good job, Carl. But he just said, hey, we don't have any of these problems in New Zealand because we have a different type and style of bulb over here. Really? Wow. So he sent links. You can check out that comment in that video. Carl, he left. Words are hard. He left the links in the video in the comments to what he's talking about, which I thought was nice of him. Let's see here. Oh, just talking about you. I was just talking about you, Giacomo. Hello. We're just talking about Doris is here. Hello, Doris. And Stacy freaking Parsons, late to the party, but no, if you guys haven't checked out her M&S Lights, Stacy Parsons. Stacy, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm usually wrong when I talk about your show, but I believe you won last year's Light-O-Rama for string lights, but in their category. So Stacy's show is freaking phenomenal. I do have a question for you, Stacy. My wife, Jean, wants to know how in the world you get into your driveway, because I think your show doesn't have the driveway blocked at some point in time. Anyway, I digress. Thank you guys for popping into today. Appreciate that about you. So the tools that I use, talk about voltage meters for a second. This actually came in handy Sunday. So you have 2 voltage meters. You have a voltage pin, and this is the Lightkeeper Pro. The Lightkeeper Pro has a built-in voltage meter. So this has dead batteries in it. So I went to go grab it, and I'm like, the batteries are dead. So this one is functional. Hear that beep. So our dishwasher should have power, but it's not displaying anything. I'm like, well, I want to make sure the power's off. Get me I got the voltage pin. I'm like, it's not working for some. Oh, now it's working. Light's coming on now. So I actually used the Lightkeeper Pro as a voltage meter to see if the dishwasher had power. It did. So I didn't mess with the lights. We had to kill the breaker. But the Lightkeeper Pro can come in for handy for a ton of different reasons. Well, this is for incandescent lights. If you don't have incandescent lights, then you got to use the Lightkeeper Pro. Lightkeeper Pro, which is something I'm giving out as a Christmas stocking stuffer this year because people keep asking me to borrow this. I'm like, why don't I just give like the mailman who's really cool? I'm kind of rude now because his name escapes me, but he's always asking about the stuff I use and some neighbors. Everybody on the block's just getting LED keepers this year. So yeah, LED. And then the best thing about this, it's bright yellow. You never lose this. Think about your wallet, your purse, flashlight, anything you lay down. Everything's black these days. You can't find anything ever, which is weird. Most of my light failures are user failures. Yeah. Here. Yes, you did. You did win. Very cool. Train guy. Hey, train guy, how's it going? That's what Stacy's saying. The gates that go across the driveway open up after the traffic show is done. That is brilliant. I've never, for whatever reason, Christmas light hobbyists, different things make sense to different ones of us for our particular shows. I've never in my brain had the thought to have the gates open, but that's smart. I've always thought you just block the driveway, which is the reason why we don't decorate the driveway, because the wife is like, I want to be able to get inside my own driveway and garage, which is why we don't have arches. Tool belts are freaking handy as all get out. Use the heck out of this. I always keep you can tell they're old. I always keep needle nose pliers. Always keep wire cutters because they go hand in hand with my LED keeper. LED keeper. It comes with these clips, which are white and purple, and I appreciate that they're not black, but they're basically just sandwich bag holders. You can do that. Heat gun. The easiest way I fix lights was I smart enough to bring shrink tubes up. I did. I brought shrink tubes and a heat gun. So you have a broken wire, cut the wire on either side, get some fresh copper, put it in here, shrink it down. And I forget, it was a viewer who first told me about that a couple years ago. Prior to that, I was just using wire clips and tape, and I had no knowledge heat clips, shrink tubes, or even a thing. So that's one of my favorite things about this show is the sharing of information. I love that. It's awesome. See here. How can I make smaller strings of LED lights, possibly splitting a 50 count strand? Oh, that's easy. I would recommend, Alan, that you go and watch. We have a video in our how to make extension cord playlist, or just go to our YouTube page and you say how to make shorter extension cords. I think it's called, but it's pretty much the same premise as extension cords. If you want to make a shorter light strand, you would need to cut it. But on one side's the male end, one side's the female end, and they have to be on the same string, right? Otherwise, you're not going to have full power. I guess you can always cap it, but you probably want that to continue. If you don't want it to continue, just cut off the female end and heat shrink that bad boy close. I have different sizes. I got pink, I got blue, I got white. But I just really mostly use white. I just realized the end's not there. There are different gauges, and every now and then, like I've had an influx of haters lately. I thought about screenshotting that and I didn't do it. So on my color washing video, which hands down funnest toy I have, my Nova Stella outdoor rated pixel strip lights, freaking amazing, love it. And a guy this weekend, I forget his name, John something, forget. He's like, hey, no way in the world this guy's that excited about those lights and doesn't list one con. He's either paid or he's selling them. Well, this is just a hobby. First of all, thank you for the kind words, John, for saying that I gave a raving review, a raving video, because I'm always worried that my excitement or my intrepidness about a product doesn't come through on a video. So I appreciate the fact he said it was raving. That's awesome. That means my love for these lights is shining through. I'm like, unfortunately, this is just a hobby, and I don't get paid. I'm not a paid spokesman. I don't make any money. I sell merch on my website for my show, but no. I said, as far as cons, there are 2 cons to those lights, and they're both to do with the app. You schedule, hey, I want the lights to come on at 7 a.m. I want them to come on at 7 p.m., off at 7 a.m. You can do that for a week. Then next week, you got to go back and undo it. So I don't like that about the app. Also, you can't turn it on and on can be difficult if you don't know what to do. You have to know which button, and it's not obvious. And I can't do a red, white, and blue. We're in America. Red, white, blue is kind of our thing. A lot of flags, actually. French. There's lots of flags, red, white, and blue. Belgium, I think, even. England. in England, red, white, and blue, or blue, white, and red, or I don't know. Flagged, man, patriarchy. So I don't like that I can't program the lights to do red, white, and blue. Those are my two negatives, but thank you. And another guy, I'll think of it here in a second. He actually was. Oh, he said on how to permanently fix Christmas lights. I'm guessing he's from England, possibly New Zealand. I don't know because of how he was cussing. He goes, I don't need to hear about your bloody life. Just fix the damn lights already, man. It's been so long since I've made that video. I don't know what I was going on about. But I just said, hey, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. So yeah, it's always good times. But I like when people get on me and keep me honest because, like, hey, you don't need to talk that long, which is actually why I've restyled how I do my videos. I used to do a big monologue, a big build up about what caused me to make this video, why I'm doing it. And I realized not only do people don't like that, I don't like that. If I want to know how to fix my dishwasher, get to the point, man. I need to hurry up and get this fixed. I don't care what caused you to have it broken. I'm like, that's a great point. So I do appreciate it when people say that very much. Don't forget to recommend the wire stripping tool. That is a gift from God. It is, and I'm not smart enough to bring it down here. It's too far away, and my dog's barking. I'm not certain if you can hear that or not. Probably can. But yes, I think that's in my. Actually, you know what I need to do? Thank you for mentioning that. I need to redo my top 5 tools for Christmas lights. I need to redo that because that is not in there because that was an old tool that I used. I believe it was the old crimper style, but this one is freaking cool. It's automatic. It's in my. I'll tell you right now. You guys can go up to the top of the YouTube page on my header. There's a little not Alexa, Amazon shopping cart thing, or a little Amazon sign. Click on that, and that'll take you to my storefront. And that tool is actually in there. So yeah, good job. That is a lifesaver. It takes 1 second, literally 1 pull, and it strips the wire so easily. You're not tugging, you're not doing anything. It does all the work for you. It's awesome. Let's see here. You can also use Scotch Hot connectors. See, I have no idea what that is. First time ever hearing of it. So I love that you're sharing this information with me. It helps me grow. I love that. No clue, but I will be doing that lately. You've arrived. I have arrived. I have haters. Well played. Well played. I have a few that I've blocked over the years just because this is a Christmas show. I don't cuss on here. I might say hell every now and then, but I don't cuss on here. When people are shopping for Christmas, it's kind of a family thing, so I don't cuss on here. And also people that will just go to town. I mean, it's been years. It's when I first started. And I believe that was in my How to Make a Photo Prop series because that's the first thing I did on here. And that's people who just did not like that I was slow and did not get to the point, right? So I'm like, all right. Hey, DB Productions in the house. DB, good to see you here. So these right here are hands down what I do. I don't go anywhere outside. If I'm hanging lights, I have my tool belt on. I have my LED keeper in. I have the heat gun and the shrink tubes close by. The voltage meter, I mostly just use for net lights, incandescent net lights, sometimes LED, because even though the LED net lights are fixed a different way, the voltage meter that is built into this does come in handy. Now, there is a green tool that I use that looks very similar to this. It's white and green, and it does both these things. I bought it, and some already know this story. I bought it with the intention of reviewing it, and then I was speaking with John Cosmo, the owner of Alta Lit, who is the parent company for LED Keeper and Light Keeper Pro, and he was telling me a story about how he actually got kicked out of Lowe's or Home Depot, forget which one, or it could have been Walmart, forget which one, but they stopped selling his product because this new product did 2-in-1. They stole his patent. It was his patent. So he actually had to sue them like, hey, you're using my patent. Now they're still being sold in stores. If I remember correctly, he won that or they settled. So I don't know if he got paid for that or not, but that's why I've never reviewed it because personal opinion, I don't like thieves. And maybe there's 2 sides to every story. I only know his side. I have no idea, but there is a tool out there that I've not reviewed. It's still new in the box. In fact, I may have actually given that away in one of my Christmas and July extravaganzas. But yeah, so there is a tool out there. Just full disclosure, I just never used it. But I think it would be awfully handy to have the voltage detector built inside of this. That would save me from having to use 2 tools. It would. That's really kind of about it for my everyday must-have tools, with the exception of nails, screws. I use those all the time. Let's see. CPL. I get comments about speaking too fast, so I point them to the clock so they can slow me down. I sound drunk, fast. I sound like a chipmunk. I mumble and I talk quickly. So anytime I'm giving a speech out there, I forewarn everybody, hey, I talk quickly. I'm loud too, and I have a loud voice. Projection is not an issue for me. Fun fact. Oh, and join us on Discord. There's a link down in the video description below. We do Fun Fact Friday. So Fun Fact Friday last week was my local police department asked me, did not hire me, John. Thank you very much. Made no money from that, but asked me. They knew I've done work with them before in the past to film stuff, and they asked me to do a PSA. So I did 3 PSAs and put those all on our Patreon page. But on Discord on our Fun Fact Fridays, I released one we did this last Friday, and it's basically about a thief walking down the street and like, hey, it's a package over there on that porch. And he goes and steals a package. So it's basically just, beware of your surroundings, watch out for your neighbors. And I was actually in one. Fun fact, I'm like, hey, I'll do it for you. Because they asked me to do like 5. I'm like, I'll do 3. It's Christmas season. And last year I built a Grinch form I don't know if I actually released that or not. Maybe I'll release that. If memory serves, the audio was bad, which I don't think I released it. But I built a Grinch form and they used it into still COVID was still kind of a thing. So they did a drive-through trunk or treat type of thing, but for Christmas. And I built a Grinch for them. And I'm like, hey, if cops, can the Grinch tase somebody? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I built it with a Grinch tasing someone. Maybe I'll find that and I'll put it up on Patreon. I don't think I did last year. So the point is, they asked me to do one this year. They asked me to do 5. I said, I'll do 2 or 3. They took the higher number. They took 3. And so that was last week's Fun Fact Friday. And also, you can join us on Patreon if you actually want to see those. Oh, and we just opened up, I think I already talked about this, actually. We just opened up membership onto this channel here. You get your own emojis and your own icons, which are kind of neat. And I have no idea where I was going with that. I started with a fun fact, and that oh, yeah, I need to talk about Discord. And I have no idea what the fun fact I was going to do is. I don't know. You could dub over the speech. That's what I do. I actually did that this morning. For those who've already watched this 2-minute video, I was filming the lights on how I fixed the lights this morning, and I was talking from the back, and the back didn't get very good sound. I'm like, I'm going to leave it. With the exception, I had poor grammar. I said is instead of are. I'm like, I'm not leaving poor grammar. I'm a bit of a grammar snob. I'm not leaving poor grammar in the video. So I dubbed over are instead of is, which I don't normally do. Oh, yeah, talking fast. That's what we're talking about. The fun fact, that's what I was going. Fun fact, I actually used to act. And so projection was never was always my strong suit. But I'm always in a hurry, so I talk quickly and I talk loudly. So as far as the tools go, what tools do you guys have that you use to fix Christmas lights? Is there anything? Steve, Stacy, Tom, I know we're always fixing lights. DB, you too. What wire cutters, wire strippers? I mean, it kind of stops and ends with the LED keeper for me. If you guys haven't had it, get it. Again, I make no money out of it. You're welcome, John. Make no money. Comes with a 9-volt battery. Now, Scott P, who sends us stuff all the time. So if you watch the video, if you watched me for a few years, you've seen stuff Scott P's done. He got one of these and freaking hated it. And he hated it because he inevitably found out the battery came dead. So my thought was that it was probably just sitting in a store forever and battery just died. But yeah, that's the only complaint I've ever heard about the Light Keeper Pro, or the LED Keeper rather. Hey, what's going on? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Metal grinder. What in the world do you use a metal grinder for? Additional fun fact, I just found an angle grinder, new in box, I didn't know I owned because I could not find my heat gun yesterday. I know. Why couldn't I find my heat gun, you ask? My wife used it. She put it back where it didn't belong. So, yeah. And I tease her about that all the time. We're in the middle of building, right? We're in the middle of building, and we're getting ready to, let me take this down right quick. Yeah, you can see the back one. So this is oak that we stained with a chestnut or walnut. I don't know, dark stain, obviously. And we're going to poly this. We're going to polyurethane it. And you need a heat gun to get the bubbles out because we're going to make it super shiny. And she was doing a test run, put my heat gun back where it didn't belong. And that's fine. I found it. But yeah, and a plus additional bonus, I found an angle grinder I didn't know I owned, which is pretty neat. But yeah, I don't know what you would do with a mill grinder to fix lights. I have no idea. Don't even know. So the show is today's the 14th. So we got 12 days till the show goes up. We don't do it. So the 24th. So I got 10 days. You and me, have 10 days before Thanksgiving gets here, with the exception of Angela, who's in England and does not celebrate Thanksgiving. In fact, you guys should have like the antithesis of Thanksgiving, right? Like, we should never have sent them to the colonies. I don't know. But 10 days before Thanksgiving is our soft opening. We'll open it up with my wife and I. One of us, usually it's her inside the house and I'm outside the house, troubleshooting. And we announce our opening on the Saturday after Thanksgiving. That way we don't have a big line of anything, which reminds me I need to redo my Facebook page. I don't do Facebook except it's for the show. If I didn't have a Christmas light show, I would not have a Facebook page. But you have to have one up to have a page for the show. So this is how folks know about the hours and can ask me questions. They do that. Otherwise, I do nothing on Facebook. I just don't. I would say heat gun, pliers, shrinks, connectors, and wire cutters. Boom. That's a great list. Sounds like my house. You want to find something? Alan, I don't mean to scare you here, but that's a freaking t-shirt right there. If you want to find something, look for something else. That's a t-shirt right there. That's a t-shirt and a half. I have had one Thanksgiving, and it was a big Sunday roast. Oops, it was just a big Sunday roast. Yeah, we do the same thing. We have the stuffing and the turkey, ham. I'm more of a ham guy. As a kid growing up, turkey, 100%. Now on this side of adulthood, or as far as I'm concerned, I'm adult. My wife might say something different. I'm a ham guy. I'll take a ham over turkey anymore. That's just how I am. But yeah, I agree with you. I actually am thinking about making that a t-shirt on. I don't know what context, but that maybe Christmas or July next year. Maybe I'll put that in my t-shirt ideas and see what kind of that morphs into, because that's when we come up with our new t-shirts. Alan says Thanksgiving night for official turn-on testing in place beforehand. Yep. So I made the mistake of doubling the show without having any ideas of how to double a show. So we installed the new boxes yesterday, which reminds me, I wanted to do a video about the boxes before I installed them, and I didn't do it. Maybe I'll do one out there and just talk about it. But I had a goal, which I completely forgot about till right this second. So thank you for bringing this to my attention and making it jog my memory. Everything you needed to do to have a Christmas light show, and I didn't do it. So real quick, we'll run through that real quick. You need a light box, something to turn the lights on and off. FM transmitter, which I didn't do a video on. See what happens when you have a Christmas show, right? Steve, right, everybody? You get busy hanging Christmas lights. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. We just don't have time. And I started hanging lights in September, and I'm still this. Normally, it takes me 4 days to do a tree. I did a hack last year, where I combine red, white, green, and blue. So I only have to do the tree one time. My red maple, which was in today's video. But 5 days in one tree this year, just because of the weather. Sucked. And I took time off to do it. Chris is here. Hey, Chris. I've taken 2 weeks vacation already this year just to do it. What up, Chris? I'm about to. Who is that? Chris Cross. There we go. Steve. Also with pixels, you have to look at wires because they wire some wrong sometimes. Ground, positive wire, and data wire. You should be amazed about how many soldering. Oh, yes. I've heard that. I actually had a company, I can see them from here, sent me pixel lights. Like, hey, can you review them? Like, well, if you want pixels reviewed, you need to talk to Jeff, or you need to talk to Dave, Candace Beta Christmas, and learn Christmas lighting, because I don't do pixels. But sure, Why not? I have no pixels whatsoever. I'll look at them and maybe do a review from a beginner's eye, from a novice's eye. Maybe that's a review that could be done. They're just of such poor quality. Nope. I emailed the company. Hey, thank you so much for these. I can't do these justice. I don't think they're of good quality. I could be 100% wrong, but thank you, but no thank you. So I do that sometimes. Random question. What song did your $25 payer support choose from? And that's Braden. Love that you brought him up. He drove by yesterday. He was over here yesterday, out there hanging up lights, and like see this white Mustang come by. And Braden, and to give you visualization, Braden, just to me, looks like a more studlier version of an shameful no. I have seen parts of Bad Santa. I have not seen any of Bad Santa Part 2. But the kid who's in Part 1 grows up, and I know he's in Part 2 because I saw a quick video about it. Braden looks a lot like that kid, but more suave. So huge kid in a Mustang driving by. I'm like, hey, Braden. He did not pick out a song yet. Did not pick out a song. Did not pick out a song yet, but he will absolutely. What we're going to do for him, you know what we'll do for him? We'll let him pick our first mapping song. We're doing projection mapping, and we did it for Halloween this year. It went okay. I know I did a poor job on it for no other reason than all the trick-or-treaters came by. Everybody said, oh, that's neat. What kind of candy you got? So no one was blown away. No one was amazed. It was just, it's okay. So shout out to Tailwind from Learn Mapping. No, is it Mapping Academy? Projection Mapping Academy. There we go. And I think I actually may have a link down to him in this video's description. I'm not certain if I copied and pasted that into him or not. But if you need to learn projection mapping, and he uses everything free. Everything's free as far as the software goes. I use a different software than what he uses. So right now I'm learning his, and then I'll just morph that into the one I already do. I use Cyberlink's Power Director is what I use for all of my editing tools, and Photo Director for photo direction tools. Let's see here. Michael, we have 4 inches of snow on the ground, and I've just barely started putting up my display. I also need to get on the roof too. Yep, I have. Well, these behind me. These are going in the yard hopefully tonight. I need to figure out exactly how I want to stake them down. But I think our best day between now and Thanksgiving is a 40-degree day. Everything else is going to be cold and suck. But yeah, I was out there 24-degree weather. Is it Saturday or Sunday all day hanging lights? Or I was out there both days, but one day was 24 degrees when I went out there. So when you have a Christmas light show, at some point in time, you're going to be cold. Oh, and I need to do my projector tonight for for years we've done projection mapping. I'm gonna loosely call it projection mapping for our Santa's workshop. I have a holiday hologram is the word I'm looking for. A hologram that we do with Santa being in there, and I think I have that as part of my how to build Santa's workshop. I think that's in there a little bit. Oh, and fun fact, I get asked this about once a month. Actually, it's more than that. Take a look at that video. I think it's in there. It may not be. It may lead you astray. But any of the things I use to project for Christmas, if you want it, email me and I'll send you the file. It's just like a dancing Santa. They're like 15 seconds long. It's a dancing Santa. I think dancing gingerbread Santa eating cookies or something. So they're all little things that are a take off of just what I've used over there, and they're all vertical. So they're all 16:9 vertical rather than 16:9 horizontal, which is what you're probably watching this video in right now. If anybody wants those, just email me and I'll send them to you. I get me email that a lot. I use a shop broom to clean off the roof. That's smart. I use I works out great for me. I have a cordless blower. It's blue. What's the blue one? Is that Max Pro, or I know green is Easy Go. I have the blue one, whatever that one is. But it's 80 something, 80 amps. I don't know. I'd have to look at it like, oh yeah, I've had it for 2 years. They are calling for ice and snow tomorrow. Yeah. Actually, we're supposed to get it right now. It's supposed to start at noon. Winter weather advisory from noon to 10 p.m. tonight. I use That is awesome. Alan, you're on a roll today, my friend. That's awesome. How do you clean your roof? I don't. Spring does it for me. Mother Nature. That's awesome. That's funny. How to clean your roof after Christmas? Spring. That's another t-shirt or a 15-second YouTube short. It's one of the two. Giatano, wife's blow dryer with a cardboard Christmas. Yeah. Oh, you sent me a picture of that, I think. Yeah, you sent me a picture of that last year, I believe. Yeah, that was genius. I'd not thought about that before. CPL, I send up the squirrel. They don't need to pay for their way for the loft damage. Squirrels hate Christmas. I don't know why. They love to eat Christmas lights. Anyway, they love that. Did a video. I think we've already talked about that today. Did a video of the top 5 ways Christmas lights get ruined. Squirrels. Someone said chipmunks. I'm like, I didn't. Someone commented on that they had a problem with chipmunks. We don't have chipmunks, or at least we don't have a problem with chipmunks in Kansas. So no clue. My weather went from 70 to 30. I thought you were in Florida. Where are you at? I thought you were in Florida. 70 to 30. I know they're Haas from Off Kilter Homestead. They're having earthquake, hurricane problems again down in Florida. Michael, I tried a leaf blower and it didn't work because the snow is hard packed. Yes, then 100%. That's where your shop broom comes in handy. That's one thing I do is I get up on the roof at least more than once a week, at least twice a week after the Christmas lights go up, just to keep the lights out of the gutter. And I always, the male and the female ends, always have them hanging on the street side view rather than in the gutter. They're weatherproof, they're waterproof, but for us and probably for a lot of shows, I've never had a power failure because of moisture. A lot of shows here in town, the big guys here in town, of all the big shows in town, I'm the smallest, but they won't even turn their show on if there's moisture on the ground because it affects their fading to the point they don't like how it looks. They'd rather just not have the show go on. I'd rather have the show go on because we only have 4 weeks for it to be up, and I go through all this work all year to do it. It's going to be on. It may not look the sharpest, but that's okay. If they drove to the house to see it, it's going to be on. Lisa, bite your tongue. I drive to Topeka tomorrow. No snow needed. Topeka, Kansas. Fun fact, capital of Kansas. Nobody knows that. I don't know why. Topeka is a weird name. It is. Topeka is a weird name. I think we have one of only 2 Topekas in the nation. You can pay squirrels peanuts. Now, hey, through somewhere there's a cartoon where one neighbor. What's that movie with Matthew Broderick and Danny DeVito where they're dueling Christmas light shows? Deck the Halls. That'd been funny if we did that one year as a prank. My wife and I sometimes like to prank my family. And we thought we were genius because we got this huge big bag of premier birdseed, dumped it all over my sister's lawn. Like, in the morning she's gonna be covered in birds. Nope, they didn't care. No birds whatsoever. So I have no idea how birds work or feed. I don't know. The neighborhood cats keep the squirrels away. Good job, cats. South Carolina, okay. I was in the right East Coast region anyway. DB, unless my display gets tons and tons of snow, usually don't bother. However, the city cleans up my walkways. Oh, that's nice. Which then most of the snow will blow to my display, so I have to clean it up a bit. Yeah. I was going to put up my peacock verticals yesterday, but I didn't know how much snow we are going to get today. I'm like, nah, that will trap. That's one thing I don't like about them is it traps all the leaves underneath them. Yeah. Christmas lights are great for trapping leaves. I've said it once. I've said it 1,000 times. There's an apocalypse. I'm taking Christmas lights with me because that's how I will hunt. I will catch anything I want with Christmas lights. Stacy, we have to deal with the horrible heat during the summer, but Arizona winters are perfect, 60 to 70 degrees every day. That's awesome. My mother-in-law, shout out to Connie. She lived in New Mexico, Arizona for a while. So, yeah, we visit her. We went to, was it Albuquerque, New Mexico, that has the Festival of Balloons. I went to that 1 year. Gene and the kids went 2 years. Boom. Let's see here. Moisture is rarely an issue in Minnesota. Probably won't get above 32 until March. See, I thought you guys got a lot of moisture in Minnesota, a lot of snow anyway. But shoot, maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, squirrels, I can do without the squirrels, right? Fun fact. I like squirrels. We have ours are all brown here. My wife, Jean, who's from Indiana, theirs are all gray. No idea if there's any other. There's probably a red squirrel. I know there's a flying squirrel, Rocky and Bullwinkle style, right? Yeah. So those are the tools that I use. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions about Christmas lights? I'm actually surprised that we, as Christmas hobbyists, all use kind of the same five. Wire cutters, wire strippers. I guess it makes sense. Yeah. Bill Parrish. I think Bill might have been my first Patreon supporter. Definitely top 5, if not very first. What's up, Bill? Living in the country, 12 gauge shotgun works on squirrels. They love blow molds. As long as the blow mold isn't your backdrop for the squirrel. Yeah. Otherwise, you blow the blow mold away as well. That's funny. Yeah. Living in the country. Gene, when we first met, fell in love, gonna get married, proposed. Fun fact. I've been saying fun fact a lot today. Anyway, I first asked her ex-husband for permission to marry her. Then I asked her son. Then I asked her daddy. Then I asked her mama. I asked her brother, all for permission. That's how I do things. But we're just trying to decide whose house we want to keep when we get married, mine or hers. Like, I wanted hers because she lived in a different suburb, and across the street from her was a giant field. She got along famously with the farmer, and you can legally shoot in his field. I'm like, so I can just go across the street. That's county there. It's legal to shoot there, and target practice or whatever. So no, we ended up moving here. That's all right. You got Christmas on Crestline that way, right? Otherwise, it'd have been something weird and a lot more. When do you turn on the show? We'll do a soft opening Thanksgiving night, and we will turn on for everyone. Ideally, the Saturday after Thanksgiving every year is when we do it. That's what we broadcast to all the news media. Chambers of Commerce has already got a hold of me. Something on Instagram called ICT, which is the airport abbreviation code for Wichita. ICT something got a hold of me. They had a big following. They had 30,000 people on Instagram. Like, hey, we want to know about your show. So a couple magazines reached out this season. But yeah, that's what I tell everybody is the 26th. That way, if anything goes wrong, and something always goes wrong, we have time to fix it. Let's see here. You got squirrels back there? Lisa, okay. Key fact, squirrels hate the color red. What? So they're like little miniature bulls or what? I think you might be messing with us. Squirrels hate red. Trying to think how that correlates if I had anything red. Well, my Santa's workshop's red. I don't see squirrels around that. Interesting. Huh. I hope that's correct, because that's gonna be my next fun fact over on our Discord channel. FYI, I got a Merry Christmas Boscoyo sign, 200 lights to fill, wear gloves, or you're going to get blisters pushing those lights through. Same thing on these. And what you got, a Merry Boscoyo? Yeah, I have the exact same sign. I have the, it's not a Merry Christmas sign. I take that back. I have the Tune 2 sign, which we're going to do this year. And I forgot all about that. I need to do that still. I haven't done that. Man, I got a lot to do. See, this is why I like talking to you guys, because it reminds me all the things I need to get done. Because I'm not smart enough to make a list. I just take for granted I'm going to remember what to do every year and on time. So yes, now they make. I wonder if those would translate. They make a special plier. This needle nose, of course, but they do make a special plier called pixel pushers. And to those who are in the chat right now that do pixels, in your opinion, if you have the pixel pusher, would that work on mini lights to push them into Boscoyo Coro? I wonder if it would actually. That'd be a great hack if it does. I've never had a need to buy pixel pushers, but now I want to buy them just to see if it would work with mini lights. That's a good call, actually. That's great. Same here. I opened December 2nd. December 2nd is a great day. Some Christmas light shows, and I don't know why. I know there's a holiday significance to stay with your lights on until January 7th, but I don't know what that significance is. We always shut down the day after. So you got New Year's Day, the 1st. We're on that day. We usually turn it off January 2nd, unless there's like a church group or school group that gets a hold of me and says, hey, we're going to come by tonight, or a tour bus that gets a hold of me and says, hey, can we come by on the 2nd? Then I'll stay open for them. We typically go over 2 feet of snow. There have been years that 3 foot blow molds completely disappear and the snow doesn't affect the controllers and cords because of the cold. Cool. 2 to 3 feet of snow. That would be on this side of not having that much snow. That would be awesome for the simple fact that I love sledding with my kids. Growing up, tons of snow all the time, sledding all the time. Since whatever reason, this millennia, since 2000, not a whole lot of snow here. I think last year we had 6 inches one day, and that was our biggest snow of the year. Let's see here. Russian New Year, really? Interesting. Okay. I go live Friday night after Thanksgiving Day, but I keep adding to display. Yeah, same here. So I'm done with my red maple. We talked about a red maple for the first part of this live. I'm done with the red maple. But as I'm finishing it up, I realize I missed 2 huge limbs. And I look down and I have braided strands of RGBCW mini lights. I'm like, I missed those limbs. But you know what? I have to move on to other stuff. So after we go live, or after everything's done and I'm contented with it, then I'll add more. So we doubled our show this year. We went from 80 channels. We now have 160 channels. Oh, and by the way, to those watching, if you want the same controllers we have, I get asked about them all the time. The website is now defunct. It's called Revival Control Systems. But I got a hold of the owner. I'm like, hey, because he's an engineer who did this as a hobby, kind of like I do Christmas on Crestline as a hobby. And I'm like, hey, man, people ask me all the time. His name is Richard. Richard, people ask me all the time if you'll build a box for him. Because hope he's not watching. Shh, he hasn't raised his price in 15 years. So this year I got a hold of him and I said, hey, can I get 2 boxes from you? And he goes, yeah. I said, how much? $495 per box. And I wanted to say, he goes, plus, since you're ordering 2, I'll give you a 10% discount. And I wanted to say, that's what you charged me when I bought them 13 years ago. But he has not raised his price. And that's why we went with him originally, is his per channel, he couldn't be touched. His price per channel, like Ladorama's, I think it's $360 for a 16 channel. Maybe wrong, but that's probably pretty close. So yeah, anybody, and point being, anybody who wants them, email me and I'll give you his number to reach out to him. He said starting in about February, he's willing to build them for some folks. So kind of neat. Let's see here. Boom. It's them evil power companies trying to get more cash out of you. Crooked, evil, run by Grinch power companies, right? That's funny. People keep lights on because of, see, I don't know what that is. I'm not even going to pronounce it. I want to say epiphany. What in the world is that? I don't know. I consider myself a decently educated guy. I know a lot about a little and a little about a lot, but now I'm going to have to Google that. Favorite song you've synchronized? Mine actually is from 2 years ago, and just because I think it's neat, and the song changes 3 different times, and I don't know who it's by. It's from Disney's Ice Princess, or Disney's Descendants, and it's a bunch of teenage Disney girls singing about Disney's Descendants. I think I've never watched it. I just know the song. I think it's all like Snow White and Cinderella's, all their kids being renditions of them. And there's a song in there. I don't even know what it's called. I think I released it 2 years ago on YouTube. That's my favorite one, just because it changes so many times. The least favorite, hands down, not even close. The Eagles. What was it? Bells will be ringing. What's it called? Bells will be ringing. I forget, but it's nothing. But it's 4/4 time. But each beat, the cymbals are in there, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's easy. I'll just have them go to the cymbals, and it looks like a strobing effect. It's stupid. I've taken that down. Can't do it. This year is the first year we will not have Mariah Carey's "All I Want for Christmas." So that was the first song I've ever done, and the wife hates that song now because she's heard it so much. That will come out of the show this year. Won't even be in there. Some keep up till Mardi Gras. Oh, really? Okay. I guess if I was in New Orleans, or yeah, I'd probably do that too. Makes sense. Happy Lights are adding this year with new controllers. We put a ton in the tree this year. Adding. What we actually, I'm gonna have to do another walkthrough this year because we did a ton of changes to the landscape, the topography of the yard, and props. So we changed the verticals, scrunched those up, got rid of some bushes. I'm gonna say 15,000, so not a lot. But we did a lot of changes this year, so I will do another walkthrough this year. Probably before Christmas, actually, I'll do a walkthrough. Normally I do it afterwards, but people stop searching for stuff for Christmas. Of course, they stop searching because Christmas is over. Normally I'll release that in January. I think I'm going to do that earlier this year. I've been meaning to do that for a bit. Hey, there he is. We're just talking about you a little bit ago, about your channel and all your amazing props that I'm not smart enough to build. So yeah, check out Kiwi Christmas on his YouTube channel. Kind of neat. The champ says it's when 3 wise men arrive at the manger. How in the world? Okay, Catholic. Okay, I'm Baptist. Gee, my wife is Catholic. I'm Baptist. So Catholicism, I'm ignorant on a lot of things. My sister's Catholic. My brother-in-law's Catholic. My other brother-in-law's a lot of Catholics. I'm pretty much only not Catholic. So okay, cool. Very love that kind of love history. Love it. Three Kings Day. Okay, Three Kings Day. Would you ever use the Pages? What in the world is the Pages? I don't know what that is. No clue what the Pages is, CPL. You may need to cut out a little bit. The Pages. I don't know what you're talking about. I missed something. Try Rescue Mary Gentleman by Okay, I love Chicago. Chicago 17 is one of the greatest albums of all time. Love Chicago. Anybody who grew up in the 80s and saw Karate Kid also loves Chicago. Part 2, love Chicago. Karate Kid Part 2, yes. Chicago 17 for me. God Rest You Merry Gentlemen by Chicago. Great beat for a light show. Done. Doing it. Hey, Chicago. Chi-Town. Now, Chi-Town has its own version of pizza. If you're in Chicago, where's your favorite pizza place to go at in Chicago? I've never been to Chicago. Gina and I have been talking about going to Chicago mostly because my sister and brother-in-law just went there to see a Cubbies game a month or two ago. Thanks. Yeah. At my Kiwi Christmas on here. Okay, cool. The group. So yes, I love Chicago. I love everything about Chicago, actually. Boys to Men, fun fact. I've shown the video on here before. Yes, I have slow danced with the founder of Nathan of Boys to Men. I love everything about Boys to Men. Front row in the concert, behind stage several times, met him several times. I do one Boys to Men song for a Christmas light show. It's Silent Night, which was actually inspired by Will Smith. What was that show he was on growing up? Prince of Bel-Air. And one of my other favorite shows is How I Met Your Mother. Neil Patrick Harris. Love Neil Patrick Harris. But Boys to Men was serenading him on there when he got slapped one time. Kind of neat. It has to be Lumiades. This is where Gaetano Amato comes in. Or Gigordios. I don't know. But yes, I'm gonna write those down afterwards. And definitely going to try those when we go. We went to St. Louis a while back and now the name of the pizza place is escaping me. My boss said, he's from St. Louis, and he said, you have to try, I was going to say Crummy's, but that's not it. Anyway, I always ask where the best pizza places are at. If you go to Nashville, if you go to Kansas City, I want to know about barbecue. If you go to St. Louis, Chicago, New York, I want to know about pizza. Fun fact. Pink Floyd, The Wall would be great. I agree. That's one thing. I don't know for a string light show. Pixel light show is 100% a legitimate light show. Projection mapping, light show. String lightings. I've never seen, I'm sure it's out there. I just never seen it. I've never seen a string light show do justice to Pink Floyd. Just saying. And if anyone who's not seen it, I think everybody in our industry kind of knows who Tom Bet George is. First name Tom, last name Bet George, B-E-T George. If you have not seen what he has done this year, he has completely changed the industry, in my opinion. Go look at his YouTube channel. Look at his. He could have released something for Christmas already. I don't know. Look at what he did for Halloween. Not only is he a leader, well, he kind of got Pixel Lights going. He's been around for years. He's so big now. He does it for a living. That's his job. He's worked for Ford Motor Company. He got a hold of me 4 years ago, whenever the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, because we did a Super Bowl thing for them. He liked the song that we used that we did for our show. He said, "Hey, can I buy this from you?" I'm like, "You're Tom Bet George. We're Christmas folk." I'm like, "You can't. No, you don't have to pay me. Here you go. It's Christmas." I mean, that's kind of right there in the title. I don't do this for a living. This is a hobby. He does it for a living, so I get why he said, "Hey, can I buy this from you?" But no, you can use it. Used it for these programming lights for a dealership in Kansas City. Yeah, there you go. Cool. Look what he did at this year's show. He dwarfed his amazing Pixel show with drones that are encased in Pixel lights. So he created the illusion. He did a Stranger Things, the HBO. No, is it Netflix? Netflix Stranger Things show. He did Stranger Things 300 feet in the air. It's amazing. Completely changed. I have no idea what that cost, because a great drone, a solid, decent, good drone for a show, you're dropping $1,000. And he had probably 300 or 400 that he used, all synced together. It was amazing. It's amazing. Loved it. Funny, my favorite Chicago album is Transit Authority, which came out in early 70s. Early 70s Chicago is where it's at. Love it. Fairy Tale in New York. The Progs. I had to look up the spelling. Oh, okay. Fairy Tale New York. Thank you. Interesting. Has anyone seen the preview for the Christmas Story part? Actually, they did a part 2. Part 2 was not very good. They're doing a new Christmas Story with the original actors. Peter Billingsley comes out in a few weeks, actually. Has anyone seen the preview to that? The projection mapping Pink Floyd. Oh, yes. Yes, agreed. That would be spot on. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Zay123, what's up? Hey, what's going on with you, my friend? Projection mapping Pink Floyd would be fantastic. That would be great. I 100% agree. Heaven. Okay. Christmas Story, 17th. Yes, I was excited about it. You guys know he was my white whale that I could not land for this year's Christmas in July extravaganza. I did get the ABC's Great Christmas Light Fight. Got the producer on the show. Talked to her. She's awesome, real gracious. And, at the end of it, after we got done filming, she goes, "Hey, you want me back on? You want the actors? You want other producers? You want the director? Anybody you want back on? We'll come back next year." I'm like, awesome, cool. So they'll be back next year. Spoiler alert, fun fact. Couldn't get Peter Billingsley. I emailed his agent, didn't hear anything back. That's fine. Saw the preview for it. Like, dang it. I wanted it to be better than what it is. Maybe the preview hopefully doesn't do it justice, but it's all the same. Kid actors back. The mom's back. He is now doing the voiceover. I have who's the guy? The guy who did the voice in Christmas Story is the author, and his name's escaping me. He had the voice of all voices for that show. So I was disappointed, not to influence you. I was disappointed in the preview. I just was. Plus, fun fact, Peter Billingsley's eyes are so blue, it's hard to get past it. My wife's like, "Look at his eyes." I'm like, "Yes, I see his eyes. They're blue." Yeah, I don't need to look at his eyes. Guys don't do that. Guys don't go, "Oh, look at his eyes. It's awesome." Guys don't do that. But my wife couldn't get past it. She does that every time she watches Off Kilter Homestead and Haas is on the video. "Hey, look at Haas's blue eyes." For whatever reason, my wife has a thing for blue eyes. I don't have blue eyes. So there's that. Let's see here. Coming on Disney Channel is 2 parts. Really? Interesting. Well, you talk about Haven or Heaven. Reminds me of a show Gina and I used to watch called Haven on, might have been on ABC. It's not Christmas until the products play on the radio in full and with the naughty words still in it. With there will be no Christmas for me this year. They have to keep out the naughty. What? That's weird. They have to keep it out. That's odd. FYI, I'm working on a new prop, a magical snowball with Olaf the second. We have all seen Santa pop up from the chimney, but Olaf popping up from a snowball. I've seen Olaf part 2. You had him on some sort of display with LEDs underneath it. So somebody, I forget who, been to the house in Cleveland. Very cool. So you've been there. Awesome. That's cool. That's cool that you've been to his house. I've heard good things about it. I've heard the lines are long and it's worth the wait. So it's kind of like going to Disney is what I heard. You're going to wait for a while, but it's worth it. It's neat. Carpenter's Christmas album. I stop what I'm doing every time I hear Karen Carpenter singing. There is that's what I do when I hang Christmas lights. I listen to Christmas music. And there is a new band that just redid one of her songs. What's new to me, redid one of her songs, Merry Christmas, Darling. And it's a country band I've never heard of, 3 girls. It's not the Dixie Chicks, but it's 3 girls I've never heard of that had an unusual name. They did a good rendition of her song. It's not Christmas until I hear Snoopy's Christmas. Good call. Good call. Gene Shepard passed away a few years ago. Boom. Gene Shepard was the voice and the author of The Christmas Story, which is originally titled not Christmas Story, Are We Dead Yet? I believe is what it was titled. That's either the original title. That's got to be it. I think it's Are We Dead Yet is the original title of the book. Or it's not Are We There Yet? I think I'm correct. Which is what I normally am, right? I normally think I'm correct. Thanks for hanging out with me today and talking some Christmas lights. Alan's given me some shirt ideas. Love that. Check out Kiwi Christmas. He's always building props. Always coming out with some cool shorts. You guys are already a subscriber. Otherwise, I'd say subscribe, right? Because we're supposed to say that. But check out our join page. Get your own icon. It's $1.99 a month. You get your own icon. Get your own emoji. Things of that nature. You also get you get second dibs. Patreon gets first dibs on all of our. I think Giatano. The champ asked this. It's different than Patreon. Patreon gets first on everything. But after they've had it, then you get dibs on early access to the discount codes, which I just rattled off a bunch. We have 4 reviews coming out. I'm behind on my reviews. Too much to do. Things about Christmas Light Show is this is when the companies want to push out their products. And I've turned down probably 30 things. And I have one video coming out on some fairy lights that I was going to do an outside thing with, and it just doesn't work for outside. So we'll see how it does for accent lighting. So that video will be coming out, I don't know, at some point this week. At this point, I'm just releasing stuff as soon as I get it edited because I got no time for anything. That's how it goes for us this time of year, right? Full-time job, full-time house problems, 4 kids, Christmas show, hanging lights. Yeah, that's how it all goes, right? You get dibs to get early access to our discount codes. But seriously though, chat with us on Discord. The stuff we're chatting about right now, me, Stacy, we're always we're chatting all the time. Steve, we're chatting all the time on Discord. We're on there every day as time allows. I'm on there at least once a day. Most of the time I'm on there for hours. I'll have it open as I'm doing work. Somebody pops on, boom. We're chatting on there like we are right now. So yeah, join us on Discord. Links down in the video's description. Let's see here. The video has a hint. Magic playing with LEDs and new ideas. Thanks, everyone. Don't forget to like and share. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Just passing 99. Wow, more than a few. Man, that guy's a legend. Love that guy. That's another t-shirt. Boom. Another t-shirt. Heck yeah. So I'm going to get out of here today, guys. Appreciate you spending the hour with me going over these going over these tools that we use and kind of debugging some stuff, right? But I love chatting with you guys. It's awesome. It makes an hour seem like 4 minutes. I love everything about that. So thanks so much, guys. Let me get my my prop going here, get my Patreon thing going out here. I appreciate it, guys. I'm Charlie. I'll see you in the next video. Oh, and Angela, get a hold of Roaming with Rover. Go on a show. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. We'll see you guys.